Can you build a home studio for less than $200? I'm going to say yes, you can. Now, there's always more you can do, but for the bare minimums, for the basics, you can get what you need for the basics for less than $200. That's assuming you have a computer. And most people have a computer that can be used for lesser quality, but sufficient enough to capture your audio. Now, you do need a DAW. A DAW is a digital audio workstation. So you need some sort of program, software, in order to do the productions, to do audio capturing and such. And there are several you can go by. There are free programs. You don't have to spend anything if you don't want to. BandLab, or Cakewalk, as it is called, has a free program. I think it's still free. Reaper, you can get your hands on. You can also use, I think there's trial software for Pro Tools. Or if you have a Macintosh, a Mac computer, you can use GarageBand. These are all free. Now, from that, you can go higher and use better quality DAWs, but they all do the same thing. They capture audio, they put them on tracks, and you can simultaneously stack up tracks or record a band or such, whatever your needs are. Now, if you're a vocalist, you'll need a microphone. I've been asked by vocalists what the best microphones are. Most studios will use a condenser mic. A condenser mic is a thicker mic. It needs 48 volt phantom power to power it. But there are cheap versions. Audio Technica, the AT2020, has a model that's $99. If you want to go from there, you can use a Rode microphone, an NT1 or something like that. It's going to run you $159 to possibly $300. You don't need that. If you like a dynamic mic, which is a mic that's not a condenser, it's a stick mic like you see with performers on stage, you can go with, the cheapest, inexpensive one that is a powerhouse that every studio and a lot of musicians live use is the Shure SM58. Or you can use actually the SM57, which is an instrument version. You can use it with a windscreen over it, and some singers, vocalists will actually use that. Those are dynamic mics, and they're only $99. Now you'll need a way to get that audio into your computer. This is what's called an interface, an audio interface. Now there are several models you can use that are well under $150, sometimes under $100. And this is from the Behringer to the M Audio to a Mackie to even less expensive ones that'll only run you about $50 just to get some audio into your computer. Focusrite is a popular choice for some, the Solo, because it's inexpensive and it's very good, highly regarded. However, if you get the third generation, you can get it $99. If you get the fourth generation, it's newer. It's more like $150 or so. So these are the inexpensive means. I'm going to leave some links that you can check them out. It's also wise to have some headphones handy so your audio doesn't feed back into your recording, and you can use a cheap set of headphones for now. That's fine. Now, if you do go this means, and it depends on what your room looks like, you may need to cover the walls so there's no audio reflections, because you'll get reverberation from your voice, and it will kind of it may ruin your recording. You can get around it with frequency EQing and things like that. But what I suggest is using moving blankets on your wall, and if possible, even like an inch away, to use an air barrier in between. That's what I do around my studio. And you could get a bundle of them, like 3 for $24. So when you add up an inexpensive microphone for even $99, $100, and an audio interface, it's less than $99, and moving blankets. You can do all that for less than $200. And that's all the basics you need. People have asked me how they can do this thing. Now, that's assuming you have instruments and everything else on hand, or you may be using a beat, something that is already produced in which somebody may charge you, or you can use royalty free. And then you don't even have to do the instruments. You can just hip hop to the beat. I don't know your genre, but I'm assuming you can do some hip hop that way. Or if you're into rock, you can put your instruments in there. Some of the DAWs even come with MIDI compatible drums, so you can type in drums and do that. I use virtual drums all the time, and they've come a long way. They sound like real drums. I had somebody comment and said, I didn't know you played drums that well. And I said, well, I didn't either, because I use virtual drums. I program them myself, and they sound authentic. So these are ways that you can get around having a home studio and doing your own productions, even if you're using it for demos or whatever. So don't let anybody tell you can't do it at home. There's a lot of Grammy-winning stuff that are done at home on home studios, and a lot of people have gone home studios since COVID and the pandemic and such, in which some studios had to close down and it wasn't as feasible to go to places. So they experimented with home studios and found out they can do it. Now, I'm not saying if you're professional, you're going to do that, but if you're just trying to put some stuff out, you can do that. And you can use DistroKid or CD Baby or something, distribution like that to get your music out there. So that's the basics. And if this video was helpful to you, give it a like down here. And also, you can subscribe to my channel if you want more information like this. I also produce music. I have my own music, Jim Duke Project, and which channel you're on now. And you can give a listen to my music. Thank you, and I hope this helps.